Let's talk about the show On The Verge. So I'll tell you how I came across this show. I literally opened up my Netflix. You know how Netflix always starts to play you a clip of something or a trailer of something right off the top on your menu? It started playing a clip of On The Verge. And I immediately noticed, is that Elisabeth Shue? So I gotta tell you, I have a huge crush, still have a huge crush on Elisabeth Shue. It goes back to when I was a kid, seeing Adventures in Babysitting, a movie I saw a million times. And then it continued when I saw her in the Back to the Future movies, and Soap Dish, when she did all those comedies in like the late 80s, early 90s. Heart and Souls was another one. Of course, she eventually did Leaving Las Vegas, which was devastating. But yeah, I always had a crush on Elisabeth Shue. It wouldn't have worked out well for us because I'm gay, but I always have this crush. It's like a Rosie O'Donnell, Tom Cruise thing. I love Elisabeth Shue. And I know a few years ago that Elisabeth was like the hot commodity during pilot season. Every network, every studio was trying to sign her up for a series. I know she even turned down The Good Wife, and obviously that eventually went to Juliana Margulies. And then, yeah, Elisabeth Shue eventually did CSI for a couple seasons. So I don't know if Elisabeth necessarily played her cards right when everyone was after her for to be in a series. But yeah, I was very excited to open up Netflix and see that, oh man, Elisabeth Shue is in the series. So I hit play on this. Did not watch the trailer, did not read anything about it, just hit play. So of course, the opening credits, I see that Julie Delpy is also in it. She created it. And then, yeah, it's very cool to see Elisabeth, Julie, and Alexia were executive producers of this. Alexia and Julie wrote a lot of the episodes, and Julie even directs some of them. So it's very cool to see these actresses kind of taking the reins of things and creating something for themselves. So turned on The Verge. So watching that first episode, I wasn't hooked in any kind of way. And I thought it was interesting that I think Netflix probably just greenlights a series. I don't think they go based on, watching a pilot and they say, okay, you can go ahead with the series. Because I don't think a network like NBC or CBS would watch the pilot or watch the first episode of this and say, yeah, I want to see more of this. Because there's really not much plot in that first episode. We get introduced to the characters a little bit, but even the characters don't seem that intriguing at that point. We don't see a lot of Elisabeth Shue. That second episode, same kind of thing. Not a lot of plot, not a lot of Elisabeth Shue, which of course I was waiting for. Episode 3, Elisabeth Shue starts to get her own storyline, and we start to get to know these characters. And I started to enjoy the show. I didn't love the series. I've watched all 12 episodes. I didn't love the series, but I found I really started to get intrigued by these characters. And what I found, what the difference was that I enjoyed when the 4 women were separated and had their own storylines. Those first 2 episodes, it's the 4 of them together most of the time. I didn't buy for a second that these 4 women would be friends. And I don't know why. I just don't think they had any kind of chemistry. And I'm surprised, did they not do a screen test altogether? Maybe I'm wrong. I'd love to hear from you guys. Maybe you guys think, wow, these 4 women have great chemistry. I didn't think so. I think all 4 of them end up giving great performances across this season. I really enjoyed all of them. But when they are together in scenes, I just didn't buy it. No combination of the 4 of them did I think, yeah, I can see these women as friends. I just didn't buy it. But like I said, as the season developed, I did enjoy the storylines. And yeah, there's nothing insanely profound that happens in this series, but you just start to see these women's lives. Now, granted, Yasmin gets the storyline halfway through the season that is like Alias. It's a little bit of a curveball. It works. It's a little bit out there, but it works. It's a little bit absurdist when you compare it to the rest of the series, but I thought it works. There's another absurdist moment when Julie Delpy as Justine meets Julie Delpy, the actress. Another absurd moment. I thought it worked as well. So this is the kind of show that don't expect that each episode you're going to be satisfied and there's a cliffhanger to keep you interested. You're really just watching these characters' lives, and you'll find as it goes along that you are more and more intrigued by them. Once again, I didn't love this series, but by the end, as the season wraps up in February 2020, and so you know what's just about to happen in March 2020, that I was intrigued and I want to see more. I don't know if there's going to be season 2 yet. They haven't announced that there's going to be a season 2, but I was intrigued by these characters to see more. Great performances by all 4 women. I loved Alexia as Elle, the various jobs and ventures she gets into to try to make means for her family was really fun. Elisabeth Shue ends up being fantastic. What I love about Elisabeth Shue is she just has this effortless charm. Like there's almost times that it doesn't even seem like she's acting. She's just kind of walking around saying her lines, but she's just so effortlessly charming that you can't help but be intrigued by her and want to watch her more. Obviously, Julie Delpy is the main character here. She gets some great stuff. Hated her husband character. Hope she ditches him in season 2, and that's what's kind of set up at the end of season 1. But yeah, I want to hear what people think about this show, because this is a different kind of show. That it's not a situational comedy and that there's a conflict each episode and gets resolved. It's very much just a continuous story of seeing these characters' lives and what they go through right before March 2020 when a pandemic hits. So yeah, I did end up liking the series. It takes a while to get into because yeah, you're not going to be intrigued by the plot. It's just a matter of you start to get these know these characters and you want to see more of these characters. But yeah, what did you guys think of On the Verge?